Hey guys, what's going on? Today I've got another card trick for you. This is a David Blaine trick. I'm not going to bother with the performance of it because I'm sure everyone's seen it before, but you need all the 9s and the 8s out of the deck. So just get all the 9s and the 8s, pause the video, wait. Okay, you got them? Okay, right. So for this is no setup, that's just the rest of the deck. So you get your 9 and your 8, so all the 9s and the 8s here, and then you deal one out, and then you put a random card on top of it. Deal one out, put a random card on top of it, deal one out, random card, 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 deal one out. So you should have a setup where there's a 9, a card in between, 9, card in between 8, card in between 8, card in between 9, card in between 9, card in between 8, card in between 8. It doesn't really matter what format the 8 and the 9s are in, just as long as there's a card in between each of them. And then when you've done that, put that on top. And that's you good to go with this trick. Okay, so let's just pretend there's a spectator in front of me. The first thing you say is take off a third of the deck. So let's just say they take off a third, and then we put that to one side, and then you just leave them alone for a second, and then you offer the spectator a card out of these. So it can be any card, there's no force involved, so let's just say they pick that one, the 4 clubs. Okay, and as they're looking at that, this is the tricky part, this is a sleight of hand misdirection part. You have to take out 4 cards. You have to deal 8 cards into your hand. So this is all secret, so if you can talk and count and do this, you're a legend, but some people struggle to do it. So I've just done it then, like, you know, there's 8, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. And when you've done that, just you know, look cool, look composed, you know, look like you haven't done it, and then just pretend to throw it into the middle. Like that. So remember the 4 of spades. 4 of clubs, my bad. So then just throw the 8 on top of it, and then just pretend you don't want anything to do with that. That deck's pointless now, you've just thrown it into the middle. Then you hand the spectator these cards, the cards that they picked off at first, and you ask them to deal them into a pile, face down, okay? And now there's a little trick to this bit, right? You have to remember which ones are the 8s and which ones are the 9s. And you know that the 8s are on top, so you know the first one down is an 8, and this is where I remember this, okay? So the 8s and the 9 are yours, okay? So in your head, as they're dealing it, that you're saying mine, not mine, mine, not mine, mine. And if there was a stop on a mine, you ask them to turn that card over, and it's a 9. But if they were to stop on a not mine, so let me just collect them back up again. So if it was mine, not mine, mine, not mine, mine, not mine, mine, not mine, you'd ask them to turn this one over in their hand, which would be an 8. Okay? So let me just do that really quick for you, and I'm not gonna, you know, say it. So let's see if you can work out which one it is. So do you know which card should be turned over? It should be this one. Now hopefully in your head you're saying mine, not mine, mine, not mine. But yeah, it's an 8. So you always have to make them turn over the one that, you know. And there's a little extra bit you can do with this where you can say, okay, you stopped on an 8. You could have stopped anywhere. If you was to stop one later, you would have stopped on a 7. And if you was to stop one sooner, you get rid of the double back card. You would have stopped on another 8. Yeah, I get it. It doesn't matter. I should have really formatted the deck. Let's just pull the random one out. You won't have a double back card in your deck if you're not using these. So just ignore that bit. So if they were to stop one sooner, they would have stopped on a jack. But they stopped on an 8. So just keep it out like that so they know how random it was. And then just ask them to deal 8 cards out. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Now because you deal 8 into your hand at the start, they've just put 8 cards down. You know that this card is going to be their card, the 4. But let's just say they were to stop on a 9, and they were to go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. You know that that one is their card. That would be the 4. Okay? That's a lovely trick. I mean, the reaction you get off that, just because they could, you know, the fact that they knew if they were to stop one sooner, it would have been a 7, or one later, it would have been a jack. It's really, really cool. So yeah, I hope that was alright for you guys. I hope you all understood that, and easy going, guys. Catch you later.